Please tell us your name.
My name is Satyajeet-Internal.
Okay. And your roll number for this exam?
Sir, 304812.
Okay. So now please give us a formal introduction.
I was born and brought up in Bhubaneswar, Khordha district. I am a postgraduate in forestry with specialization in agroforestry. Currently, I am pursuing PhD in forestry with specialization in agroforestry. I was the gold medalist of the batch of my BSc in forestry from OUAT, and I have a NET qualification in ASRB agroforestry and UGC environmental sciences. I have also been the topper of MSc and secured the merit certificate of the Dr. Vice Parmar University of Horticulture and Forestry. I also received ICR JRF fellowship and ICR SRF fellowship for pursuing both PhD, MSc and PhD respectively. My hobbies are in singing and photography, and
So today we'll discuss about your optional agriculture.
Yes, sir.
And also we'll discuss some current affairs and important forest legislations, etc.
Yes, sir.
So tell me something about soil-based farming, the technique of soil-based farming.
Sir, the major technique for soilless farming is called as hydroponics or aeroponics, in which either the crops are cultivated in soil-free media, that is water, or else in air, in which all the nutrients are provided through spraying to the roots, or in hydroponics, and they are provided through the water medium. Mostly these are practiced for tuber crops like potatoes. And other soil-free agricultural techniques also includes like using potting mixtures like vermiculite and composts. So they act as a good medium because they have a good aeration and has a strong water, more efficient water holding capacity.
Okay. Tell me something about the at least 2 or 3 recent agricultural technologies.
Sir, one major breakthrough has been done by ICR. It is a product called as Pusa decomposer. It was launched recently by ICR. It decomposes the stubble left out in the field of farmer. It decomposes. It actually consists of a capsule containing 8 fungi, which decomposes the stubbles in a period of around 25 days. So the applying procedure is in a hectare of land, we have to take 25 ml of 25 liter of water and mix it with the capsule and jaggery, so that it decomposes and convert it into manure, which can be later incorporated into the soil for better growth of the next crop. This is one technique, sir. And other techniques like precision farming are also adopted in India, in which use of modern equipment like drones and laser based farming are done for proper management of the crops and higher yield.
Okay. So, tell me something about what are the major steps that can be taken to prevent locust attacks on field crops?
Sir, for prevention, we can have early warning system, like they come from western side of India. We can have at least early warning system so that the farmers can get alerted, and mostly we can have instruments like which can scare away the drone hoppers. Mostly we can make farmers aware so that they protect their crops in right time, and sir, we can also use pheromone traps, and but since it is a measure, it happens in a massive scale, so it is not possible to control them, sir. So last year also every management steps failed to control them. So after a certain time they went back from after coming up to Chhattisgarh, they went back to their country from where they came. Another technique is also there, in which we can add some insecticides to the crops so that they can repel them from being attacking the crops. Like we can spray chloropyrifos.
Okay. So, why are you interested in forest services? You are doing your PhD in agriculture. Give me some good reasons.
Sir, my PhD in forestry, sir.
Forestry.
Yes, sir. Sir, I have dedicated around 8 to 9 years in forestry subject. So I think if I join the services, I can better utilize my research aptitude and knowledge.
If you join in research,
yes,
as a scientist or a senior scientist or whatever, you can even better utilize the research.
Sir, it is a field job mostly, so we can directly implement the research that are done, like in silvicultural research stations. But in research methodologies or technologies developed in research stations actually take time to come to a particular area, but it can be a state-based research so that we can address the problems of a particular state or an area. I also have my hobbies in photography, so I can also utilize that trick, that interest in my field to explore more on that field, sir, area.
Okay.
Sir, another point is also there that I have done my specialization in agroforestry. So if I bring this technology and clear out the drawbacks that have been the bottlenecks for implementation of this in our state, we can have a breakthrough for increasing the forest tree cover outside forest area, sir. If it get wide adaptation by the farmers of India, of Odisha.
Okay. So you said something that the silvicultural practice stations.
Silviculture?
Stations.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So do you know any which is there in?
Sir, it is there in Odisha, yes, sir. And one silvicultural research station is there in Ghatikia of Bhubaneswar.
Okay.
and other substations are there in one is there in Fulbani, sir, and another one is there in Koraput.
Okay.
Sir, so there forest officials are only the research personnels that take out the researches in the particular field that are concerned to Odisha, sir.
Okay. So what was your specialization in MSc and PhD?
My specialization was in agroforestry. My thesis title was effect of spacing and fertilized organic manure doses on growth and yield of vegetable crops under Grevia optiva based agroforestry system. So Grevia is a fodder crop mostly used in the hilly areas of Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand. It has multiple uses, like leaf is used as a fodder for the animals during the lean period, that is winter season, and the branches are also good fuel wood, and fiber are also extracted from the branches, which are generally used for making ropes. Yes, sir.
Okay.
And sir, in PhD also I am currently pursuing my degree in water productivity of Dalbergia based agroforestry system.
So agroforestry, you tell me some agroforestry systems which have been successful for number one in India,
yes, sir.
second in Odisha, and third in your own district.
Okay, sir. Sir, in India, the most popular is poplar based agroforestry system, in which poplar and wheat is a good example.
Wheat?
Yes, sir. Triticum aestivum, sir.
Okay.
And in Odisha, there are different agroforestry systems that are mostly practiced. One is home garden, and another is teak based agroforestry system, another is mangium based agroforestry system, and mostly the crops taken are turmeric and pineapple under the crops, and in instances have also been recorded, like Acacia auriculiformis with rice, and in the coastal region also, in my district also, and in other coastal belts of Odisha, Casuarina equisetifolia has been implemented, like for acting as a shelter belt, and which is also treated as a for agroforestry system under agri-silviculture classification, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, can you tell me what is the meaning of integrated pest management, and some examples you can give me? It would be better if you can give examples from Odisha.
So, integrated pest management refers to, it is a holistic approach of pest management in which different methods like physical methods, mechanical methods and biological methods are integrated together for the control of the pest. The main motto is to keep the insect population or the pest population under the threshold limit. We should not eradicate completely eradicate the pest, but we have to keep it under the economic threshold level so that the farmers don't get any economic loss. And major thing to be pointed out here is we don't have to use chemical pesticides like chemical insecticides and chemical fungicides, so that we can protect the nature, and we don't have the persistency of it. We can keep under it because it causes biomagnification, sir. And in Odisha, sir, integrated pest management is mostly carried out with rice, in which different management practices are also incorporated, like SRI method of rice cultivation. We have alternate wetting and drying, which reduces the plant hopper population, and also has seen recorded the decrease in stem borer in case of rice. And other like we have to increase the spacing, like in SRI method 25 centimeter and 25 centimeter spacing is adopted, whereas in normal method it is 15 into 10 into 15 centimeters, sir.
Okay. What is SRI method?
Sir, systemic rice intensification method of rice cultivation, sir.
Okay. So my last question to you would be on irrigation.
Yes, sir.
So can you tell me what is the concept behind more from less, which government of India is promoting now?
Sir, it is more crop per drop scheme has been launched by Government of India. It is mostly refers to the adoption of micro irrigation techniques in the agricultural field, and it also includes technology like drip irrigation, trickle irrigation, and sir, another one is under surface irrigation is also called as comes under this technique, in which flooding and other method of pumping, flooding and basin listing technique of irrigation has been removed from it, and water use efficiency of the cultivation has been increased, and this method has been taken up from Israel. This technique was first invented in Israel, and which with less water use efficiency has been more, and in use of less water you can produce more crops.
Okay. Fine. So that will be the end of the interview.
Sir, legislation part.
Legislation.
Yes, sir.
You have studied?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So tell me something about Odisha Forest Act. What are its main components and its main, you can say, a summary of the main features and provisions which are contained in that?
Sir, Odisha Forest Act was enacted in 1972. It was in line with the Indian Forest Act of 1927, in which the forests are divided into three types, that is reserve forest, protected forest, and unclassed forest, village forest, in which
what is the difference between the three?
Sir, in reserve forest more protection is given to the whole area, whereas in protected forest a particular species is given protection. We can close that a part of it to protect or to give more regeneration time for that particular species, and some rights are also been given in the protected areas, whereas in reserve forest no rights are given. And in village forest, these are the forest under panchayats and gram sabha, and mostly the villagers manages it with JFM approach, and they get the rights from it. They collect NTFPs and utilize them for it. And other rules under that act are certain rules under trade of forest produces, and penalties for illicit felling and activities under forest has also been given in certain sections of that act. And
how
duties.
Many sections are there in Odisha Forest Act?
Sir, I don't remember it right now, sir.
Okay, fine. Then?
Sir, also duties of the forest officers has also been mentioned in that act. And
duties of the forest officer?
Yes, sir.
So what is the duty of an SCF? What are the major duties and responsibilities of SCF?
Sir, SCF looks into the legislation matter. It takes charge of enforcement and protection of the forest. It also utilizes it also solves the forest related issues by establishing forest courts, and takes the legal matters into court, and So different duties have been assigned under different divisions, like in so enforcement duty in some divisions, and in some division like working plan duties, and in some divisions like in wildlife divisions they have been assigned with wildlife protection duties, sir.
Okay. So suppose as an SCF you find that some timber mafia is taking away some, he has cut some trees and is taking away the timber.
Yes,
so under this Odisha Forest Act, under what provisions you can basically seize the timber, and what further action can you take against the people whom you have caught?
Sir, so exact section I don't remember, but it is around like section 52, I guess. Of Odisha Forest Act, in which the officer in the rank of ranger or more can visit the area with force from forest department and also police, and also in the presence of executive magistrate, that is Tahsildar, he can stop the illicit felling and also seize the logs that are there and arrest the people involved in doing the illicit work, sir. But previously there was a search without warrant power of ranger, but nowadays it has been seized from the FRA Act of 2006. So without prior permission, forest officials cannot enter into villages and do a searching, sir.
Okay. So tell me something about the Forest Rights Act.
Forest Right Act, it is called as the Scheduled Tribe and Other Forest Dwellers Recognition of Forest Right Act of 2006. It was mostly to give rights of different categories like land right, collection right, management right and development rights to the forest tribals and forest dwellers. So for recognizing or giving them pattas or land rights of record, so they have to show the proof that they are cultivating a particular land of less than 4 hectares under before December 30th December of 2005, so that they can be allotted, the forest dwellers can be allotted a particular land. But for scheduled tribe there is no such provision. They will be given once the Gram Sabha thinks that he is fit to get the land. So the collection, timber collection, or also fuel wood collection, NTFP collection power has been also been given to Gram Sabha, where they can procure and sell it on their own. And other development activities like it is the they have given, Gram Sabha has been given power to provide facilities like electricity, schooling and basic health amenities to them, and they also have the power to right to protect and manage the forest in that particular village forest.
Okay.
Yes.
So when was the Environment Protection Act passed, and tell me the important provisions of Environment Protection Act?
Sir, Environment Protection Act was passed in 1986, sir.
1986?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What are its important provisions?
Sir, I have to go through it, sir. I don't actually remember.
Okay. So, tell me something about the National Green Tribunal.
Sir, NGT is an organization which prevents any developmental work inside forest area. So before any developmental works proceeds inside a forest area, or any forest area converted into converted for non-forest purposes, the NGT has to give approval. We have to get NGT approval so that we can so the government can take any activities in that area, developmental activities in that area. Mostly it sees the environmental impact assessment has been done properly, and proper compensatory activities are being done by the party.
What is environmental impact assessment?
Sir, environmental impact assessment is a procedure in which we see what are the impacts of a development or a project inside a area, the benefits, and we assess the benefits, and as well as the environmental related problems that arise from that area, like pollution, hazardous waste, and their how they are treating the wastes and disposing them off in the nearby areas.
Okay. What is the you know about this environmental impact assessment? So tell me how it has protected vulnerable tribes and forest tribes and other forest resources. You can give some examples where very big projects were stopped because of negative environment impact assessment.
Sir, 2 to 3 projects are there of national importance, like in one is Narmada Bachao Andolan was done for illicit fellings of trees, and another is Apiko movement was there in South India, and another Chipko movement was there under Sundarlal Bahuguna in Uttarakhand. So mostly they...
I'm talking about present time, like last 6 months, 1 year. When all these things happened, was the concept of environmental impact assessment there during the time of Sundarlal Bahuguna? That they, through protest, they stopped it.
Yes, sir.
I'm talking about environmental impact assessment. Okay.
Okay.
Was done for some big projects, and then negative environmental impact assessment came, and those projects were stopped. National and state examples you can give. Any examples? So you can go through
yes, sir.
These parts. Okay. So tell me something about what is the National Biodiversity Authority and what are its major functions?
Sir, National Biodiversity Authority has been gets the foundation from the Biodiversity Act of 2002, in which they follows the guidelines of Convention on Biological Diversity, and they have the power to introduce or notify any area as a biosphere reserve, in which they mostly protect the biological fauna and flora of that area, and preserve the cultural heritage of that area, and they also ensure that the benefits that are coming out of it are equally shared among the communities and also with the government. They also ensure that sustainable management of those areas has been ensured.
Okay, so just like the Forest Rights Act, okay, tell me something about the Odisha Forest Rights Act. What are its major provisions?
Sir, I have to also go through that also. Sir, not one.
Okay, that's fine. So that will be the end of the interview. Thank you.
Sir, another thing I had to ask, sir. Sir, what about the relationship, international relationship? We have to study
related to current affairs. So today's interview score out of 200, you will get around 130. 500 was okay. once again.
Yes. Sir, are we supposed to read all the schemes of Government of India and
No.
only forest related?
Forest related, Odisha specific and in news.